ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of My Cuisine. My Cuisine is a podcast where we dive into the recipes, the foods, and a lot of things concerning nutrition, concerning our health, food-wise. So you've heard people always say, uh, veganism is difficult. What will I eat? What will I cook? Where will I buy the food? But we have someone with us today. He is a vegan chef. He knows how to navigate these issues that you are complaining about. His name is Chef TJ. And welcome, Chef. How are you doing today?
No, I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me, and good afternoon to your viewers.
Thank you. Fantastic. So let me just dive straight into this question. On your bio, you say you are a seasonal chef. So you are a vegan seasonal chef. And many people perhaps don't understand what that means. Does it mean perhaps when things are less busy or when things are most busy, that is when you become active, or you are not active all the time? When you say seasonal chef, what do you refer to?
That's a very interesting question, first of all, and I'm glad that there are people there who want to know in layman terms what it means, because I'm sure most people don't understand it. Now, in a nutshell, all over the world, basically, when someone says I'm a seasonal chef, what they mean is that they work only when there is peak in the season in the food industry, and normally what causes that is mostly holidays. Like right now, there were school holidays. Most places were very very busy. As I talk to you right now, I'm in the game reserve. It was super busy. Kids want to go out and see animals, and I am there simply because it's peak of the season. It is very very busy. So I am there just to take off the pressure from the chefs that work on daily basis, right? That's basically what it means to be a seasonal chef. It is that uniform across the globe. Now, it is not necessarily my definition of what it is to be a seasonal chef, right? So to be a seasonal chef, for me, I look forward when it is a season for mangoes, for example, because mangoes are not available throughout the year. So they are available in a specific time for many reasons, based on the climate, based on the ecologically, meaning the geographically landscape of things. Because even mangoes themselves, they don't really grow in any other land. They've got a specific land where they will be able to, nourish and bear fruits. So I look forward to things like that. So I will think, as a seasonal chef, I will think, what would I make this season when the mangoes come? Then I start thinking, what can I make? It can be a mango cake. It can be a mango pudding. It can be anything that comes. It can be a beautiful mango salad. It can be anything. So I like to look forward to those things. Now, another part of things is that when I say I'm a seasonal chef, I will take especially African ingredients that have bad reputation, like beans. As I have mentioned, that beans don't really have a good reputation in Africa, even though they are rich in nutrients, they are rich in iron, they are rich in so many things, they are really, really rich. But the reason why people don't take beans as a special ingredient is that over the years, when there is certain communities in Africa that are hit by hunger, these ides, they normally come with beans. Beans becomes the step food of these underprivileged places. So because of that, people don't really want to eat beans or to be seen to eat beans. If I were to visit my sister now or my brother and I found them eating beans and rice, to them it is really, really bad, because they equate that to poverty. So as a chef who conducts himself as a seasonal chef, it is to take those beans that have bad reputation, yet they have so much nutrients and so much benefit if we eat them. I take those and turn them into something beautiful. Not long ago, I took round nuts and I made a beautiful
Okay.
vegan yogurt. So it is still
Okay.
beans, but now it's yogurt. But it remains beans. It's just that now it's yogurt. And most people wouldn't have thought that how you can actually make yogurt using simple beans. Then now I give that a very good reputation, and I can build and build and build. And until time comes that people can actually enjoy a beautiful beans curry, ground nuts, and so on, without even making yogurt. So hence I'm saying I am a seasonal chef. For those two reasons, I take ordinary ingredient and turn it into something beautiful. Then also I look forward to seasonal vegetables, seasonal fruits.
It also makes sense because when certain producers are in their season, abundance in their season, they become cheap
They
and
are
they
very
become
cheap.
so much available.
It's actually everything, the whole ecosystem. Because think about it. I grew up in a dilapidated township, and almost every house had a banana, a mango, an apple. We had blackberries. We had red berries. So we knew that in the season of blackberries, there is certain birds that you will see during that season. You would not see those birds in any other season. So even the birds, they
Yes.
come specifically for that fruit, and we get to enjoy to see those birds. So it's not just the food. Even
Right.
when you think about it, the animals as well, especially animals, big animals like elephants, they travel. They are so nomadic. They travel from one place to another. It's they travel from whether they're traveling for water, whether they're traveling for fruits, whether they but it's just so amazing.
You've been a chef for so long, for a couple of years, over 20 years. And have you always been a vegan chef? If not, what made you to transition into becoming a vegan chef?
Okay, so there is actually a couple of things that made me change my mind, but I think that it has been more of a calling than just a choice.
Yeah.
In a sense, because
Okay.
since I have been in the industry for a very long time, you get to know, for example, why is Pepe Maro available throughout the year? You start to ask yourself those kind of questions. Why
Okay.
is it available? Because it should also be seasonal, right? There might
Yeah.
be scientific explanations, whether it's because of the mist or fog in the morning, and because of that, then somehow they kind of find their way to grow and so on. There's a lot of explanations, but as I said before, as a seasonal chef, you begin to ask yourself, why is this kind of vegetable available throughout the year when it should only be available in June when it's cold, or available only between September and December when it's a rain season? Why is it available throughout the year? Then, because of that kind of question that you ask yourself, you start digging further and you want to know more. Why is it available? Is it even coming here from Africa? Is it coming from overseas? How do they make it available throughout? Especially comes fresh every time. It's not like they've used some kind of preservative. Because of that, then you get to know the good, the bad, and the ugly of the food supply, of the food industry. So that has always been in my mind, that there is a lot of genetically modified food that we eat, we shouldn't be eating in specific seasons. So you just accept it and continue cooking and make the best out of all these beautiful ingredients that you get throughout the year. So then in 2017, my father As I mentioned before, yes, I was raised by a single mother, but my father was also there. He was not in my life, but he was there. So when the time I got to know him, when I was busy trying to fix the relationship between myself and my father, I think after 3 or 4 years, he got very ill. And when I tried to find out what was the problem, what was he suffering from, and I found out that he was suffering from blood cancer, and also he had huge problem that apparently, according to the doctors, that was caused by eating a lot of meat. So even then, I did not really pay so much attention. Yes, I understood. I've always knew that when you eat meat, for example, when it's not well cooked, you might have a gout, for example. There's a lot of things that raw meat can cause in terms of diseases. When time progressed, he didn't. When he was sick, he didn't live that long. I think it was about probably 2 years, because he was just on and off. It got very, very worse after that 2 years, and he was instructed by the doctors that he should not eat meat again. And then that's when somewhere I took it serious, and finally then he passed on. And yeah, though I don't have those heartfelt memories with him growing up as a child, because he never raised me, but because I was looking forward to connect with him even further, to know him as a person. So his passing on really hit me hard. So then I started to want to know more about, why are we eating meat? Why can we not stop? What is it with the meat and so on? Then I started to do my own studies, buying books, reading even more. So when he passed on, my mom, which I care about very, very much, not that I didn't care about my father, but I mean, I care so much about my mom. I mean, she's the pillar of my life. She's someone who's very, very pivotal in my life. So she also got sick during that time. And she was also instructed not to eat meat. Every time she ate meat, she had problems. So that's when that really, really hit me hard. And as I'm saying, I continue trying to study, trying to find out. So I was starting scientifical explanations of things, but also religious as well. Whether it was biblical, ecological, ethical, whatever. Then I started to study. And then when COVID hit, in fact, right after when COVID hit, I was offered to do a show with Channel 261, if I'm not mistaken, which I did. I did one season, which is actually 13 episodes. So it was called Ekaya Cookout with Chef TJ, where I would go in households and cook and share my expertise and share with these families what I thought was right and wrong, and we'll cook things that are normal, and then I would cook meat. But now the production, they wanted to be more involved in terms of what kind of information I can share, what kind of information I cannot share, the brands that we can use, and so on and so on. So eventually, I was not really comfortable with things that they wanted me to share and things that they didn't want me to share. They wanted to control what I can say and what I cannot say. Since this was more of a calling for me, I felt that there might be someone there who's not my father, who might be also be suffering from blood cancer, or there might be someone there that whatever I say can prevent him to eat a lot of meat, or to eat meat entirely, so they can change their lives. One of the things that used to happen during the COVID is that many butcheries, they used certain chemicals or sprays to spray their meat so that it does not decay, because they wanted to sustain that meat so that, because it's normal. If something is rotten, it's normal for a fly to be there. You have to see a fly to be there.
True.
So they will obviously use certain chemicals to get rid of the flies, to get rid of the smell. And a lot of people were buying rotten meat during COVID. Yet they did not know. They did not know that they are buying rotten meat, because the meat, they use certain chemicals to kind of sustain
look red.
Yes, to kind of sustain it. But the truth is, a lot of people got sick because of that. I remember there is a lot of shops, a lot of big franchises that I cannot mention, where I would go in and the whole supermarket is stinking because of meat. So it is during this time when I was trying to, when I was doing this show and teaching these households on how to cook, what to cook, how to be safe, and so on and so on. So then we didn't see eye to eye. I would have continued and probably gained a lot of fame or popularity. I could have maybe gained financially, but my conscience could not allow me to do that, because I felt that if I continued, I'll betray my father. If I continued, I'll betray my mom.
Calling.
If I continued, I'll betray the world at large or my community. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stand for something. I mean, I've got a daughter who's 9 years old. She means a lot for me. And one day when she's grown up, she will understand that my dad was able to stand up during difficult times, because remember, it was COVID. I was not making any money. Doing that show would have brought me a bit of funds, a bit of fame that could have also helped me some way, somehow. So, but I said, no, I'll not do that. I'll rather suffer, or rather, I'll not do that. So that's basically how I became the chef that I am today, because right after the show, that's when I didn't know much about YouTube. All these platforms, I've never used them that much. So I started to do my own thing and posting it on YouTube. And I told myself, I don't have to reach 100,000 people. If I reach one person, if one person can listen to my message, for me it's enough. Just one person reaches my message, for me it's enough. It wasn't easy. When I started, it was just 3 people who followed me, which is my spouse and my daughter. Only 2 people, actually. Those were my followers. And it was not easy. I was shooting using my phone. The phone was broken. It was difficult. And I wasn't even shooting inside a beautiful kitchen. I was shooting behind the house. And the light that I was using, I had to wait for the sun to come out. When the sun is there, then I shoot a video. When the sun is gone or when it's raining, I don't shoot anything. So I didn't know much about editing, about sound, about all these things I didn't know. I had to teach myself along the way. So it was not just about recipes, but also I was trying to learn, and so on and so on. But today I'm over 16,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Thank you for that, for sharing that. I remember once upon the time when I was still eating meat, and we used to go out with my friends into this, restaurant, which I will not say the name. And some of them will order medium rare, and so because we talked about the blood and the gout, the relation between the blood and the gout. So so when you order medium rare, or is that meat cooked, or it is raw meat?
I just wanted to show you something here so that you know next time. So can you see my palm?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the palm, if you touch here, that is your rare. So if the meat is cooked, but when you touch it, if it is as soft as this part of my palm, it means it's rare. Then you use this finger, it's medium rare. Then you use this one, it's medium. Then you use this one, is now medium to well or well done. Here, that's how you tell. But
Okay.
the problem with that, you wouldn't know where this animal was slaughtered. You wouldn't know what diseases the animal had. You wouldn't know how it was fed. That's why you see
Okay.
in some other restaurant they will tell you that this cow it was grass fed, or this cow it was
Okay.
grain fed. Basically, what that means, if it was grass fed, it means the cow was, roaming uh, freely, and it was grazing freely because it was meant to graze freely like that. If it was grain fed, it means it was
Yes.
kept. It was kept in a specific surrounding, in
an enclosure.
an
Yes.
enclosure, and then they had to feed the cow the grains instead of the cow being naturally and roaming around the field. And that's why you will see in some places they will tell you that this meat is from a free range animal because it was free and passing around, whereas the other animals, they are not really free range. So yes, all these things, they play a huge part in terms of the challenges you might face in terms of your health.
Chef TJ, I know other chef. There are some other chef out there who also associate or call themselves vegan chef. I want to know, why is it that you want to mold the drumstick to look like the actual drumstick? You want to make the breast to look like the actual chicken breast? What does it do psychologically to the person who sees and that is being served this food?
Okay, so for me, uh, I cannot, I don't think I can send a statement of the message that I want to convey to the world if I was just cooking beans the regular way, whether it's curry, whether it's just stew, whether it's these beautiful African recipes. I will never be able to convey the message that I want to convey. And for me, it's really, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the food, it's not just the people or the health, but it's about all living
Mm-hmm.
creatures, and that includes animals as well. I'm someone who love animals, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
even now I from time to time I work in a game reserve because I like animals. I love animals. So I will make the regular um, uh, washed flour method to look like meat because I want someone to go, wow, I do not believe that is meat. And but at the same time, it becomes so controversial because if you don't want to eat meat, why would you make your food to look like meat as well? So it is so provocative
Yeah.
in so many people, in so many communities. Sometimes um, they feel that you somehow crazy. Why would you do things like that? But what I like is that it opens up
Mm-hmm.
conversation that we can have. And I mean, think about it. During COVID, we had so many places here in Richards Bay where you would see penguins, for example, or certain types of animals you never saw before in certain areas. And that alone, it tells you the damage that we have uh, done on this earth. Certain birds that you never saw
Yes.
before, they start emerging. You start seeing how there is such birds,
Mm-hmm.
and then polluting. You know, if we have 4 cars in the house and we are going to the same place, why don't we drive just 1 car? Why would we want to drive 4 cars and
Sure. Sure.
polluting the skies and giving the birds, giving the bees a hard time in the sky. It is about that consciousness to say, guys,
Yeah.
here it is. I'm gonna create these ribs, and they'll look exactly like the ribs that you love. The taste is going to be super close.
Yeah.
The texture, everything is gonna be super close. Now you're gonna do that. This is meat alternatives that you can still have and still enjoy without having to kill any or slaughter any animal. At the same time, also looking after your health. All those diseases that we cannot explain in our days. I don't know. I mean, I will tell you something. When I went to my father's house, there was a huge list on the fridge of medication he was taking. And when I looked at it,
Okay.
some names were like 10 centimeter. I'm not kidding you. Some names or some terms were literally 10 centimeter long. And at the time, I was really like, I envied him to say, this is a disease for rich people. It's fancy. It's for rich people. It's not like when just like, I mean, us, we are coming from poor background. I'm that typical African child who can have a disease like malaria or kwashiorkor, for example. So when I saw those kind of diseases or all those things that was on the fridge, I was really amazed. I was like, no, I wish to have that kind of a disease. That is a fancy disease. But those are things that are killing us. The truth is, those are things that are killing us. If you visit your neighbor now and they don't have a cold drink to pour for you, they only have water or they have some kind of a juice, you would think that they are poor. You would say all sorts of things. But the truth is, you just need to drink water. You don't even have to drink all these other things. So, I mean, as I'm saying, I make these meat alternatives to look exactly like the real thing because all I want is to start a conversation. That's what it's about, if I can answer you in a nutshell.
Okay. So following that question, then that would be these other vegan who focus on plant-based meat alternatives. Many of them out there, but there is a product that you are launching. You are launching, so you're not just doing the plant-based meat alternatives, but you are also venturing into the cheese. So why the cheese, and what makes it different from other cheese that are out there?
Okay, so most people who go vegan, they have relapse because they love cheese so much. We are all addicted to cheese, which is very, very bad for our health, by the way. It's very, very, very bad. So, but it's addictive because it's really, really nice. People love cheese, people love pizzas, people love sandwiches. So, this is just one thing that makes it difficult for anyone who goes vegan. They just want the cheese. Most people will say, it's fine. If I don't eat meat today, it's fine. If I don't eat meat this week, it's fine. But I really want to eat something with cheese, especially things like pizzas.
Cheese.
Yes. So that's why then I saw, okay, let me try and work out what I can come up with that can still melt, that can still be stretchy, because people really eat with their eyes. So they want to see the cheese stretching. That's what they want to see. And the taste as well, the nutrients as well. They also wanted to see, caramelized or becoming golden brown, all those things. So there's a lot of plant-based mozzarella cheese out there, but I think mine will take the cup.
There is someone who has a question. There is a guest who has a question for you, and he's also a vegan, and I think he has a question in relation to the cheese. So I don't know if blessing is ready. Can we have blessing?
Okay, hi chef. So I just wanted to know, like, since I normally make pizza, and I would love to replace the mozzarella with your version of cheese. So I just wanted to know the texture, if it will be the same, and how would the experience going to be with this other cheese of yours?
Okay, it's basically similar. Obviously, it's not dairy, so there will be a bit of difference there because I'm not using any animal product. It is purely plant-based. So because of that, it will definitely be a slightly difference. But obviously, pizza is not something that you just eat it alone like that. I mean, yes, people do eat like margarita pizza, which is basically your base, your tomato, and then your cheese. That's your margarita. But people will normally add ingredients on top, and that also plays a huge role in terms of your flavor. But it is really good when it comes to texture, nutrients, color, and flavor. It is good.
So in terms of that cheese, so I know you are currently reviewing it. So what are the response so far, and what is it still open to the public, or have you reached the limits for the review? I know you are launching it very soon. So how far has it gone?
Most people support what I do. The Americans. Not that other people don't support me. There are people all over the world, but mostly America. And to send things there seems to be a problem now because the customs is tight with a lot of things. So the recipient has to apply for permit. You have to approve this and that. It's just a lot of things that one has to go through in order for me to send. Yes, and I have not sent to most people because it's just it will take time for me to even finish to everyone.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chef TJ. TJ, thank you for your time,
Thank you so much.
we will surely see you for the following interview. I don't know if you have any final words as we conclude this podcast.
No, not really. Just thank you for having me and for giving me the opportunity to reach more people in terms of what I'm trying to achieve.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was My Cuisine with Dr. Minko, and joining us was Chef TJ. You heard a lot of things that I will not repeat there. So, for his channels, he has a social media presence. He's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, so forth, Facebook. So we'll put those links in the description section. So please go there and support the work that he does because he's doing a lot of great stuff, and you'll be able to discover if you go and check it for yourself. So it's not difficult to live a vegan life. It is not difficult to cook vegan food. It's not difficult to cook palatable dishes. So it's only the will that you need. So, and that comes with learning one step at a time, one dish at a time. So, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.